There are few things in gaming more personal than losing in a fighting game, because unlike shooters, you can't blame your team, you can't blame RNG, you can't even blame matchmaking, nah, it's just you. Getting folded in front of another human being who is probably eating chips with one hand while ruining your entire evening, and somehow, fighting game players have evolved over the years into discovering the most disrespectful ways imaginable to mentally destroy another person. Not just beat them, humiliate them. And every fighting game has its own version of, yeah bro, this guy hates you. So yeah, we're diving into the most disrespectful things fighting game players do in fighting games, and trust me, some of these could honestly count as psychological warfare. And I got this idea from watching Crowbacat's video. I think it's called The Brilliant Fighting Game Community, because it honestly is very brilliant how these players get mad and how toxic this community is. So it's just gonna be more of a comedy video for you guys. But if you guys don't know me by now, I'm Mr. Frosty Flames, but you can call me Mike. We do anything gaming news, reviews, playthroughs, analysis, etc, etc, and we do it in a chill way with no over editing BS. So if you like that style of video, please be sure to hit that sub button and join the Mr. Frosty Flames Legion. At 1800 subs, we'll be playing Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero Mythologies, which is one of the worst and the hardest Mortal Kombat games to date. So if you want to see me go through the suffering, please hit that sub button. Anyways, back to the video. So the way I just want to break down this video is I'm just going to go one by one to different fighting game franchises and talk about the most disrespectful thing a player could do to sort of rage bait you or just taunt you. And let's start with the king of disrespect itself in the game I know the best. It's the MK series, the Mortal Kombat series. Because Mortal Kombat players don't just want you to win, they want to make you uninstall. And nothing says, I think you're garbage, more than just doing a fatality after the first match of a set. Whether that's a tournament or a combat league. Like bro, you lose one game and suddenly this guy's making Sub-Zero rip your spine out like he just won EVO Grand Finals. Like, calm down man, it's game one. And then there's players who do fatal blows when you're already dead, or x-rays, right? Come on, you're on the fatality screen, the game says finish him, you would think, you know, okay, we're just gonna do a little tap, you know, and then we'll fall down, we'll move on to the next set, and bro does a fatal blow. He still activates that, and you're gonna watch a 15-second cutscene of your bones exploding. Man, that's not gameplay anymore, that's emotional terrorism. And don't get me started on teabagging during the finish him screen. That's the MK equivalent of the villain monologue. And while we're on the topic of MK, did you guys see Mortal Kombat 11's match between Scar and Buffalo at one of the tournament events? I forgot which one it was, but basically Buffalo defeated Scar, and then he went all up in Scar's face and taunting him and yelling at him, and Scar was just sitting there laughing at him. It was funny. You should see the clip. I think I'm gonna be putting it on the screen right now. But anyways, let's move on to Tekken 8, a game where disrespect somehow feels even more personal, because Tekken players mastered the art of basically saying you are beneath me without actually using words. And the biggest example of that is key charging. If you don't know, key charging is basically when a player glows with energy after a round. Mechanically, it's risky. Socially, it's basically declaring war, because nobody uses key charge respectfully. Nobody. If a Kazuya player hits you with a perfect electric wall combo and a rage art and then key charges, bro, he is talking to you. That's a Tekken language for delete the game. And Tekken players somehow make it worse with movement, because the second someone starts Korean backdashing around your corpse like they're possessed by a fighting game demon, you already know that they think you're free. And now next, we're going to Street Fighter. Street Fighter disrespect feels different. It feels calculated. You can't really teabag like you can. There is no finish him screen. Everything is cold. Everything has to be sort of psychological manipulation, because Street Fighter players don't always disrespect you physically. They disrespect your mind. Like when a player slowly walks towards you. No jumping, no panic, no random moves, just walking menacingly. Bro, that's the scariest thing in a fighting game, because they're basically saying, I know you're gonna mess up eventually, and then when you finally panic DP, they block it, maximum punish, and then round over. Then they hit you with the smallest little crouch jab after they're disciplining you. Street Fighter players will make you feel like you're intellectually inferior. And then next, Marvel vs. Capcom. Now this franchise is pure evil. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 players are not human beings, because nothing in gaming compares to watching someone hit you one time, and I repeat, one time, and then you don't get to play for the next 45 seconds. You just sit there watching your team explode. Might as well grab a popcorn bucket. And then the disrespect comes from how how casual they are about it. These people will be talking to chat, drinking water, reading donos, while hitting their 700 hit combo on your poor character. Marvel players don't want matches, they want executions. And next is something that I had to look up myself because I don't play them, so I had to, phone in a friend. And this is Dragon Ball FighterZ, another fighting game that is very popular. And these type of players created a different kind of disrespect. Fusion spam. You already know the team. Gogeta, Vegito, Goku. Bro, these teams were everywhere, and the disrespect isn't just the characters, it's how they play. Constant pressure, random full screen buttons, beam spams, auto combos, and then after all that chaos, they said GG's. Like, no it wasn't. You just turned the screen into a Dragon Ball AMV. And then obviously next, we can't talk about fighting games without talking about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the game where teabagging became a martial art, because Smash players teabag for everything. You missed the recovery, they teabag. They landed one spike, they teabag. Bro, they took one stock and then they teabag. They'll teabag before the match even starts, and somehow it works, because nothing activates human rage faster than watching a tiny little Kirby crouch repeatedly after cheesing you at 40%. Smash disrespect is chaotic evil. And the last fighting game that I picked was actually Guilty Gear Strive, the ultimate anime disrespect itself. And like I said with Dragon Ball FighterZ, these players, these anime fighting game players I should say, operate on an entirely different level of disrespect. These players don't just beat you, they'll make you feel like you accidentally walked into a professional music video, and you might not get it, but let me explain why. It's the style combos. Bro, these players will absolutely sacrifice optimal damage just to make the combo look cooler. You'll be sitting there getting launched across the screen for 30 seconds straight, while the electric guitars are screaming in the background like the final boss of an anime. And then after all that, the match just ends with some dramatic counter hit slowdown where your character explodes into a wall, like they got hit by a truck. But honestly, the real disrespect in Guilty Gear is how confident everyone plays. These players move like they already know the outcome of a match before it even starts, especially characters like Saul Bad Guy, Happy Chaos, and Valentine. Bro, Happy Chaos players especially are actual supervillains. You'll spend the entire match trying to approach while this man shoots you full screen, reloads casually, rolls backward, and somehow still has enough time to disrespect you with the perfect spacing. And anime fighter players love doing something that hurts spiritually, stopping mid-combo just a taunt. That's not even trying to win anymore, that's performance art. But honestly, the most disrespectful thing in fighting games itself is when someone stops taking you seriously entirely. You know the type. They'll start using random moves, styling mid-match, dropping combos intentionally, taunting, experimenting. Bro, nothing hurts more than realizing this guy is just practicing on me. That damage is permanent. And honestly, that's why fighting games are special in my opinion. No other genre creates this level of emotional damage, this level of toxicity. It's like every game has its own disrespect culture, its own toxic rituals I should say, its own psychological warfare, and somehow we all keep coming back anyways, because deep down, every fighting game player wants two things: to win and to make the other guy feel slightly miserable. And honestly, that's beautiful. That's just what I think about it. Let me know what you guys think. What is the most you've ever been disrespected in fighting games, and what is the most you've ever disrespected somebody, and how did you do that? Me personally, I'm not really a toxic guy in fighting games. I just end the match, even if it's a sweaty set. I don't even like to do Fatality. If anything, I'll do a friendship. Bring in the Mortal Kombat 11 friendships. Put that in Mortal Kombat 13. That's what I want. We are all gonna be friends. I'm gonna bring a friendship, you're gonna bring a friendship, and we'll all be friends. That's how fighting games should be, right? Right? Nah, I don't think so. Toxicity will always be a thing in fighting games. Let me know if I missed anything. What makes you mad in fighting games the most? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below. Especially subscribe to join the Mr. Frosty Flames Legion, because we are building our army. The Frosty Flames army is rising, and you're going to become a legionnaire just by hitting that sub button. Anyways, let me know what I should do down below. Any other content ideas? Let me know. Keep me posted. Thank you all for watching. Mr. Frosty Flames out. Ciao.